And let's see if we can figure out why these books are being banned. What is it that people are, so opposed to? What do you think are some of the common charges against some of these books that people want to get rid of? What are they complaining about? Anybody? Yes?
A lot of religious organizations like the Roman Catholic, NAACP, they tend to not like books that involve paganism and beliefs.
Okay.
And a lot of books that do involve those.
Okay. It could, yes?
I think it's just because like groups of people don't like their group targeted against.
We always like the First Amendment as long as it gives us the power to drag out somebody else, right? We just don't like anybody saying anything bad about us. But the First Amendment wasn't there to protect people's rights to issue platitudes. I mean, nobody's going to give you a hard time if you say, "Hi, how are you?" or "Gee, it's a nice day." You know, it was there to give you the right to say something controversial, really speak your opinion. Things dealing with sex, things dealing with science, okay? People trying to, quote-unquote, protect children from certain subject matters. In the 1950s, anything smacking of communism, even, a book teaching Karl Marx's life story. My father knew a man who was fired as a public school teacher in Evansville because he mentioned Karl Marx in the classroom. This is in the 1950s, and, it was a very heated environment back then. Any number of things, or the would-be book burners would be glad to, eliminate books. But I guess what I would say to you folks, if you find a book interesting, read it, decide for yourself. That would be my take on that. Okay. How about, I think it's about time for pizza, and I'm sure you're not going to object to that. But let me ask you this. What questions do you have about your constitutional rights, about the Constitution itself? Anybody have anything? Yes?
As a citizen of America, what would be my responsibility that I could affect the Constitution the way it is now?
You want to change it or something?
No,
or?
I'm just saying, am I responsible, or am I supposed to be held responsible for anything to do with the Constitution?
Okay.
Right now?
Well, I would say as a citizen, the first thing I would recommend to you is know the Constitution. I'm not saying memorize it. I'm not saying know every paragraph and so forth, but know what your basic rights are. If you ever find yourself in the judicial system, I hope that never happens, but if you do, who's going to be more interested in protecting your rights? The prosecutor, the police, you. But you can't stand up for your rights if you don't even know what they are. So I'd say one of the first duties of a citizen is to know the Constitution. I hope that helped. Yes?
Just remember on your rights that a lot of your forefathers died.
Yeah, and we seem awfully quick to throw away things which were so preciously won sometimes, don't we? Okay, that's a good point. Anybody else? Are you really, really hungry, or did I do such a great job that you're just amazed? Yes.
How do you feel about the right to express opinion?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
How do you feel about the right to exercise opinion?
You have that right, and you should exercise it. The Fifth Amendment is the right that, first off, allows you not to testify. In a case involving you, you don't have to take the witness stand. And if you do, you have the right to avoid answering questions which would directly incriminate you. In other words, the prosecutor can't put you on the witness stand, make you take an oath to tell the truth, and then ask you if you committed the crime or not. Can't do that. My suggestion would be, and you always hear this on the cop shows too, most of the time it's not a good idea in a criminal proceeding for the defendant to testify, because whatever you say opens the door to the prosecution to go into a lot of other areas. And if you are testifying and take the Fifth Amendment, what's everybody going to assume? That you're guilty, right? Let's face it, the jury's human. They're going to be persuaded by that. In fact, you'd be surprised how many court decisions are really settled just the moment of jury selection. Let's say that I'm accused of a heinous crime. Tom Buchanan, criminal extraordinaire. So I'm giving up teaching. I'm going to become a major criminal. Okay, we're being hypothetical here. So now I've been arrested, I've been tried, I have to face the justice here. So I have a defense attorney. He's going to try to get as many people in that jury pool who are like me. He's going to look for balding, nearsighted, overweight former history professors to be on that jury, because he wants people who are going to identify with his client, me. And the prosecution is going to try to get as many people in that jury who would identify with my victims. Okay? It's just the way it is. So we like to think that, lawyers are brilliant and they really save your cookies. A lot of times it's something as simple as jury selection. Are they in, G? Affirmative. Okay. Time for one or two more questions here. Any others? Wow, you're really, really hungry. Okay. Yes.
Can they add on onto the Constitution?
Yes. You could. You know, there's a constitutional process that has this amendment process, and you could always go back and add an additional amendment. It just takes time to do it. There has to be broad support for it. Okay, it's a good question. Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you,
And
Dr.
enjoy your lunch.
Buchanan.
Thank you.